In this video, we house hack. What's up, Casey? It's Guys here. Welcome back to another episode of Gulf Coast Investing, where we talk about all things investing right here on the Gulf Coast. I would love if you would like this video, share it out to your friends, consider subscribing to my channel for more great, insightful content just like this. Today's video, I wanted to talk about a pretty popular topic, and that is house hacking. I will get into what house hacking is in a second, but just kind of wanted to say, in this day and age of some uncertainty and kind of some unknown in the real estate world, I think if you really want to get into the investment space and the real estate investing space, that house hacking is probably the best thing to do to get started and the best first step in getting in the real estate rental income investment space. So house hacking is a couple different things, couple different strategies and techniques, and then one that I kind of call house hacking, which is the same, which we'll get into at the end, but wanted to go over those. House hacking, for example, the most kind of common way to house hack is to go buy a duplex or a fourplex under the current mortgage laws and rules and things like that. You can actually apply for and get a loan for a fourplex, which again means there's 4 units in a complex. It's a 4-unit complex, or a duplex, which is 2 that are side by side attached to each other. You can actually get approved and get a loan without having to get a big investment or a commercial loan. So if you get a commercial loan, if you're trying to buy 5 or more units, that's called a commercial loan. A whole other set of requirements and certifications and all kind of different things that you have to have for that. But the easier way is to buy a duplex or a fourplex. If you buy that quadplex, again, there's 4 units in there. You live in one and you rent out the other 3. So that is the ultimate step one, the most original way to house hack, is you go find a quadplex. Again, quadplex has 4 different separate units. You get approved for it. A lot of times they can actually get an investment loan without being a commercial loan, and they can actually project what those rents will be on those on the other 3. And it will help you get approved for this. So you actually can use other people's rent to pay your bills while you live in it. So you get got an MLS, find your real estate agent, door knock, cold call, put out bandit signs, whatever you do to find a duplex or a quadplex, get approved. When you buy the property, you live in one part of it. Normally, and you can fact check me, make sure, normally it's 2 years that you have to live in the property. Just like if you get a residential place, live in it for 2 years, then you can rent it out. You can do whatever you want. Obviously, you can sell it whenever. But to be legal and all that, you have to live in it for 2 years. So that's why this is always a great idea to start younger. If you're not married, even better, because there's less requirements on where you need to live and things like that. But you can start at any time. But the younger you are, the better to do this strategy. You could be newly married, about to get married, or just single and not even looking for marriage. Doesn't even matter, just working on your career. So again, you buy the unit, you buy the whole complex, you move into one of them, and then you find tenants for the other 3, or if it's a duplex, a tenant for the other side. So you find those tenants, and the goal is for those tenants to literally make your entire mortgage payment. So say, for quick, easy numbers, that your mortgage payment was $1,500 a month. So the goal would be for those other 3 to pay you $500 a month. And so 500, 500, 500, and now your entire mortgage payment is paid. They're paying down your interest rates, they're paying down your loan, they're paying your property taxes, they're paying your insurance. You're literally getting to live essentially rent-free. All you have to do is, just be okay with having those roommates and being over them, make sure they're paying their bills on time and not being too loud and all that. But you can keep better eyes on who's in the complex, who's coming in, and things like that. So I would suggest that. Again, I was talking to some buddies the other day. They even talked about, they would love to go in with friends and, one person buys it and the other ones just get rent from them and things like that. So just be careful with what you're doing. Obviously, everything has a risk, but again, in the perfect scenario to house hack, you find a duplex, you find a quadplex, you buy the unit, you buy the whole complex, you move into one, you rent out the other 3, and it's paying your bills for you. So another way to house hack is a little bit of a newer method, and that is with the rise of Airbnb and Vrbo, and that is renting out spaces or rooms in your house. So laws have definitely changed over the past couple years about what you can do and what you can't do. But, a couple years back, that was literally what Airbnb, that's how it started. It's literally an air bed and breakfast. where, you know, I may own a house with 4 bedrooms. I literally rent the other 3 bedrooms out. Now you can rent that out on the shorter term market. I know people that rent those out to traveling nurses. So nurses that need a place to stay for 6 months to a year. You could have a long-term renter in there where, you know, you have a long-term roommate essentially. And then you can look up all types of crazy ideas online where people build their garage out. They build a separate, if they already have an in-law space, they put a kitchen into there. If you have a space above your garage, like it's a separate building, people that rent that space out. There's all types of different ways to look at your current house, your current living situation that you own and say, hey, how can I house hack? How can I make a little bit extra rental income? Again, in a perfect world, you know, maybe your part of the house is a little cut off from the rest of the house. You build your own little kitchen area and rest area for the rest of the house, and you're renting out 2 or 3 bedrooms or a big space or half the house and almost make it your own little duplex that you're renting out, and they're paying a majority to all of your bills for you. So your entire mortgage payment is paid. So, you know, you live there 2-3 years, and when it's time to move on, you essentially haven't made a payment in 2 or 3 years that you have the equity, you have, you know, they've paid your loan down for you, and it's just an awesome way to get into real estate. Again, I know people in college that do this where them or with the help of the parents, they buy a house close to campus, and then they get their student friends to literally pay to rent rooms from them. That way they know who it is, and they're a little more comfortable with the situation because college, everybody's living together. Same thing, like I said, with traveling nurses or traveling salespeople. Hey, you be the one to go buy it and rent those rooms out, and then again, they're paying you rent, and for all they know, you're paying rent, but no, they're actually paying your mortgage for you. So kind of a cool way to do that. So last kind of house hack that I would call it is something that we have personally done a couple times, and that is a live-in flip. So this is probably I would say one of the least riskiest real estate moves to do, especially right now if you're already looking for a place to live, if you want to get into the real estate investing space, and if you have time, is to do a live-in flip. So we've done 2 of these, and really actually we're in our 3rd that we've kind of done right now. You go find a place in a desired neighborhood, somewhere you want to live, but it needs work. You go to the seller, you end up working out a pretty good price that works well for both of you. You move in, and then as you're living there over a year, 2 years, 3 years, or we've done with one over about only 6 months, we did it in a very condensed time, you start to just slowly flip things. So this is for real estate investors that maybe don't have a ton of funds, maybe don't have a ton of free time or any free time, or have to keep their job and can't go work job sites and things like that to do traditional flips. Literally is you live in it, you buy it, you move in with yourself, your spouse, your family, anything like that, and then maybe once a month you fix something up. So 1 month you completely redo one of the bedrooms, and the next one you completely do one of the bathrooms. The next month, maybe Christmas time, you come in and you completely redo the kitchen, or you update the appliances. The next Christmas, you paint the countertop, you paint the cabinets and put in granite or quartz countertops, and you just slowly do a live-in flip. Again, not only is this not going to completely stress all your funds out up front, you're going to kind of stretch that over time, but you're not immediately coming up with all that money out of pocket. Literally, you may save, when you go to sell it a year or 2 years later, you could make $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 on it, depending on the area and the time of year and the time, what's going on with the market and things like that. But we literally owned a house for less than a year and made about 50 grand profit on it just because we did the work that no one else wanted to do. But we didn't do it all at one time. We didn't even pay a huge expense. I did a lot of the work myself. Me and my wife were painting cabinets and things like that on the weekends and at nighttime. So it does take a little bit more work, but it gets you in the ball game. And to me, that's the biggest thing. Get in the ball game, get a win under your belt. Again, we were able to make about $50,000 profit on that just in a couple months because everybody else looked at the house and they didn't want to put the time and the effort into getting ready. You see some families that when they buy it, they want move-in ready. So if it is in bad shape, they're going to buy it and they're going to go dump all that money into it immediately before they even move in. And then you have some that just don't even want to mess with it. So you put in the time, you put in the labor, you put in the sweat equity, it will pay off for you. Plus, it's a great way to get you in a neighborhood that you probably couldn't afford because, you know, maybe prices are high and the houses that are fully updated are out of your range. Well, just buy something that needs some work, but you love the floor plans, you love the layouts, you love the area, and hey, take your time just slowly doing it, and you get to literally redesign the whole thing yourself just the way you like it or the way that a new potential buyer would make it. So, or would like it. So, hope this helped out. Again, I see a lot of things, people talking about house hacking. I think those three things, buying a duplex or a fourplex, renting out space in the residence you already live in, or doing a move-in flip where you literally, again, buy it, move it in, and just slowly flip it. I think those three are some of the safest things to do right now that don't take a lot of capital. You kind of have your expenses covered because you already know what you're spending, you know what your rent's coming in. It's a little bit more known and a little safer, especially in this market that's a little more unknown. So hope this helped you out. Let me know if you have any questions. I love if you reach out to me, you message me on here or in the comments. Hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next time.